The analogy I'm going to use is a little bit racy. What was the first content creator to consumer service model? Okay, I just scanned in 20,000 postcards. I had my morning yerba. I had my cold brew with cayenne. I had my gluten-free lemon bar. And I'm ready to tell you some great business ideas. You're saying, why would I listen to you? You're wearing a t-shirt. Well, I'm wearing a t-shirt because I am a little bit lazy. And who has better business ideas than somebody who's a little bit lazy? Not very lazy, but just enough where I say, yeah, sure, it's fine. It's that kind of creativity, that kind of problem solving that distills down what I think might change your life. Number one, I have 11. Number one, make internal tools, and I have experience doing this, so I know this one actually works. Make internal tools for small businesses. $1 to $5 million revenue. I guarantee you, if you go to an industrial park and you find 10 businesses who are in that revenue range, who have 10 to 20 employees, one of them, maybe more, but at least one of them is using technology that is 10, 20, even 30 years old. And it's not just that the technology is old, it's bad. It's wasting time. You can help them be better. You can make money by making them be better. And it's very simple. All you have to do is have a basic understanding of, first of all, what software is out there, and secondly, how to customize that software. I think that probably the best bet is small internal like Python tools for simple things like parsing information off of invoices, that kind of stuff, where especially if these companies are legacy companies who have a stranglehold in their industries, think cement, think who sells the dirt in your area, who sells the mulch, who does those things? Are they using the most up-to-date methods? Probably not. Talk to them, and it's easier to close these deals than you might expect. Number two, scaling shallow content with AI. What is shallow content? You've all seen the monstrosities that AI makes when it's trying to make deep, long-form content. Shallow content is just rephrasing things, putting a gloss over it. So the way you typically do this is you have some kind of programmatic content creation. You say, okay, I want to write ebooks about walking trails in Michigan, in every single state. You have your database of counties, you have your database of start and end locations, you have your database of mileages, whatever. Several databases you can pick and choose from using not AI, but just regular computer logic. And then you create blurbs, a paragraph about that thing. And then AI rephrases it, makes it sound nice. I don't like AI for novel content. I do love AI for rephrasing things. Number three, lawn care or landscaping. Here's my big theory. People are leaving expensive areas to live in cheaper areas. Oh, wow. How crazy. And cheaper areas are typically more rural, more suburban. Not always. I get it. Not always, but mostly. They're going to have lawns. You could say, well, why not be the company who connects the lawn care to the homeowners? Low margins. You have no control over who's doing the work. And easy, low barrier to entry. When you run a lawn care company or a landscaping business, I did this in high school with a few friends. Most of the work is scheduling people and getting clients. The actual work is not mowing lawns or riding one of those riding mowers, like the zero-turn mowers. It's not that. You'll spend 20 minutes, a team of 3 guys can mow pretty much any suburban lawn in 20 minutes. Not any, but you get what I'm saying. The real work is in customer acquisition and scheduling people and that kind of boring maintenance stuff. But it's necessary. You got to have it. 4, business tech influencer. I would love to do this. I don't know how to get, how do you establish yourself in that market? I have no idea. But what I do know is that trends are changing. Technology is rapidly changing, and there are more new business ideas every day than there were 10 years ago. And if you can establish yourself in a niche, restaurants, food trucks, lawn care, there's a million ways you could do this. You talk about how to make breweries better. You talk about how to, grow microgreens, any of this stuff. If you can figure out what software exists in that niche and review those softwares, it could be call centers, for God's sakes. That's good. There's too much information out there for one owner of a company to sift through it all. They have to have someone reviewing it all and distilling it. Again, this could be a great marriage of the shallow content. You write down your bullet points that you made with your brain, and then AI reformats them into a palatable script. Here's a fun one: Junkyard. And junkyards are most often like, oh, well, it's for cars, right? People sell you their cars for $300 and then you part them out. And that's a great idea, but we can take this concept and expand it. Anytime you can get people's junk and you can break it down into its components and sell those components, you're going to make a serious premium. Relatively low overhead. All you're doing is getting stuff. And if they come to you to pick it up, that's even better. I love any business where you take someone's junk and you sell it to somebody who it's not junk. There's so many reasons that's good. I'll let you think about why it's good, but you can say it's good for your bank account. It's good. It's sustainable. It keeps money locally. There's so many good reasons about it. I love it. Cars are the obvious answer. You could do it for, a home interior decoration, right? That kind of stuff. I was going to say computers, but I think technology moves too fast. But I'm sure you can think of some things that people don't want, that get broken down, and then the components are sold as components, not as like raw materials. Here's a really, really fun one as well. I saw one of these up in northern Michigan and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I want to see more of these. I want you to do it. If you live anywhere that has an agricultural flavor to it, do a self-service farm stand. Oh my God, it was so nice. I was able to get spinach and mushrooms and all this stuff from a local farm. It was called, I forget who it was. Maybe I have a video of it. I'll put that up right now. But from them, and then pay using Clover or Square or something, self-serviced. So I used a debit card. It was all maintained in their $4,000 shed from Home Depot. It was such a neatly tied up small business. I want to see more of those. I think it's a good idea. Whenever you can become the point of contact with your customers in the food industry, in like growing foods, you're going to make way more money. The middlemen, the grocery stores, they take such a large cut. But how would people find these farm stands, right? How would they? Local SEO, that's the next one. So I'm of the belief that big SEO is kind of not so good anymore because people are using ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever for browsing capabilities, and maybe in a year that'll be a more transparent funnel for traffic. But as of now, it's kind of hard to tell how it is, and it kind of seems like they're just glossing over the biggest results that have the most niche stuff is not so good with browsing. You get a lot of misinformation. Now local stuff takes it a step further. This is a problem even when you take AI out of the question, the agents out of the question. Local SEO is so important. When I want to find a gluten-free bakery, it's so hard. There's 8 around me, and none of them show up on Google Maps. And it's not because Google Maps is broken. It's because they have they put zero effort at all into local SEO. And is this indicative of rising costs? And so local SEO gets pushed to the wayside. Maybe, I don't know. But I see a gap, right? And as people begin to utilize Gemini, Grok, Claude, ChatGPT for the big stuff, they're going to find themselves still going to Google for the small stuff. And I think the reaction Google has then is to refine the small stuff paradigm. Hopefully not by making people pay more money for it, but we'll see. We'll see. Local SEO is good. I'm not going to say it's AI proof. I'm not going to say it's recession proof, but I think it is probably the safest bet in that digital marketing space, especially with every copywriter job, not every, but you know what I'm saying, with those going poof into the ether. Here's a fun one as well. They're all fun, but these are the ones that I think I'm like, oh man, if I had twice as many hours in a day, I'd do this. And that is niche luxury electronic refurbishment. Not on eBay, not on Amazon, on your own site, locally if you can. Follow trends, digital film cameras, and repair those. This works for two reasons. One, it's expensive to get things from other countries where it's all made to America. There's a lot of costs along the way that make some things cost a lot of money. Two, as we've chased the cutting edge of so many technological pursuits, some stuff has been left behind in the past. If it becomes popular, where is it? It's only used stuff. Again, this kind of goes back to the junkyard idea, where you're buying someone's broken cameras and you're fixing them. So they're good. So they're good now. When you can find ways to add value to junk, that's good. Obviously, when they come to you, it's better, but still, I like that niche. Okay, we have three more, and these are kind of ones that I would love to do, but they're so far away from what I'm currently doing. These are ideas that I know are great, and I know the right person can make a lot of money with them, and I wish I was that person. Number one, low-cost food takeout. I went to a brewery 2 weeks ago, and the food truck there was selling lobster. First of all, lobster in Michigan is, that's a choice. That's an odd choice because we don't really have lobster here. But it was also $27. Oh, if I'm buying food out of a trailer, I don't want to spend $27. I want to spend as little as possible. Another anecdote. I was in Hawaii 4 months ago to this day, and I paid $6 for my very first lunch there. It was rice, pork, cabbage. People like cheap food. Life is expensive. Starches are cheap food. Why are there no baked potato food trucks? I haven't seen any. Have you? Maybe they are in your area. But how much does a big russet baked potato cost to make? 75 cents for the potato, a quarter in electricity to heat it up, 10 cents for butter. I bet you can sell these for $7.50 and make $5 a pop and go through 300 in 3 hours. Do those numbers make sense? I don't know about the numbers, but I know that there is demand for that. If you can get yourself in a position where you're moving a huge volume of cheap starches, I mean, what last time you went out to eat, how much did it cost? In every other country that I visited, there's a cheap takeout option. Only in the United States do we not have this. What we say in America is we'll eat at home if it's too expensive. Why? Because someone hasn't made a better idea? Well, here's the good idea. Baked potatoes. Storage units. Who owns the most stuff? The people who have been around the longest. There are a lot of boomers out there in very big houses full of lots and lots of crap who are downsizing. They are going to probably more rural locations, less away from the hustle and bustle, smaller locations retirement areas. Maybe they're expensive, maybe they're not. For the ones that aren't expensive, they're going to, northern Michigan, northern Wisconsin, wherever, Arkansas. The land there is cheap. Alabama. They are gonna either sell all their stuff or bring all their stuff. Storage units are a reliable business. They have great yearly growth. I think that I read about these, and it's like 5% more storage units every single year across the country, and they're not closing down. So either everyone's losing money on them, which I doubt to be the fact, or the demand is increasing at a very predictable and reliable rate. Storage units are not a very fun or interesting niche to think about, but low maintenance, people come to you, and when someone's crap is in a storage unit, how many years will it stay there? Finally, local tourism guide. So I say this for last because it's a little bit, the analogy I'm going to use is a little bit racy. What was the first content creator to consumer service model? OnlyFans. Sex. Makes sense. That's like the oldest profession there is people providing services, that service being either, killing someone or sex. Sorry, that's just the fact of nature. What happened after that? We're not focusing on that. We're saying what happened after that. Well, as these service providing industries, the concepts that you can sell service matured, you got more and more niche examples. And I think a niche example of that is local tourism. You're going to have people who have social media accounts about Chicago, about northern Michigan, about Milwaukee, or about, whatever. Something Dells in Wisconsin. What's it called? Maybe We're going to see those people getting more and more views as engaging with areas, and people via social media becomes even more common than it already is, which is pretty much for anybody under 30. That's the way that you do things. And I think that people are going to still have that social hunger, and the way they're going to satisfy it is by going to these places and be led on tours by local influencers. You see it to an extent now. Airbnb has experiences. I saw a website where you can fly places and have celebrities give you tours. Celebrity Cruise is another one. I think this is going to be just the natural maturation of niche content creators finding out how they can sell their content as a service. Sorry for the OnlyFans analogy, but I think that really proves that this is a valid creator-customer relationship. You don't have to think it's a good one, probably a bad one, but in terms of, are they making money off of it? Yes, they're making money off of it. That's my list. What do you think? What's your ideas? Was I too racy with the OnlyFans comment? Was waiting until minute 17 fine? I think it was.